All right, welcome everybody. It is Friday, noonish. No, noon on the button, and we're here at SketchUp, so that means we're gonna do SketchUp live. So let's do this thing. My name is Aaron. With me today is my good buddy Justin. Say hi, Justin.
Hello, hello, everybody. Thrilled to be here. First time, a little nervous. So yeah, if my voice starts cracking or if I send a SOS in the chat, please send help.
Send help. Let's hope we don't have to send help. I think it'll go good. Justin's not new to any of this. He's just new to being heard by you guys. So he has been part of our team for quite a while. He's responsible for some of the awesome work we use in marketing, modeling, and that kind of stuff. He knows his way around SketchUp, is what I'm saying. So this is going to be good. Just somebody else to come in and ridicule me on your behalf.
I've been
A
doing
fresh
it in
voice.
private for the last couple of years, so this is nice to be live.
That's right. No, this is not Mr. Geis. This is a different Justin. This is the other Justin. So
The other Justin. That's
uh,
right.
that's right. Um, yeah, but this is going to be fun. So you guys may have caught we had some issues. Well, I've actually had issues. Well, okay, I've had issues, but specific to streaming, we've had some issues the last couple times I've streamed where we've had the stream is frozen or dropped, and after that happened 2 weeks ago, we spent the afternoon basically just trying to figure everything that could possibly be, and I think I traced it down to some hardware that needed to be reset. So
Yeah. Ripped out all the cables,
that's right.
bought the most expensive versions of everything.
No, we didn't do that second part. Some cables got ripped out, but yeah. So we think we got a good solution. Been doing some testing for the past 2 weeks, and knock wood, everything's gonna go well. We'll see. I have not had issues since we did those resets, so I'm really, really, really hoping that we don't have an issue today. But the upside, making lemons out of lemonade. Flip that. Making lemonade out of lemons. This gives us a full stream to talk about generating output. So we don't have to spend the first hour and 10 minutes modeling anything because we got a model done. So we're gonna go hop in and explore this just a little teeny bit. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're gonna check it out. I want to kind of walk through what we did, what we have here, and then I want to talk a little bit about preparing a model for layout. One of the misconceptions that we hear a lot with why people don't use layout is what they're expecting is like this automatic thing, right? Where you just go in and you say, make my picnic table into a shop drawing. And that's all there's going to be to it. Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. So we are going to touch on some of the things that I would personally do to take a DIY type project like this and get it ready to send out to my own shop or to give to somebody else to make. This is not necessarily going to be how everyone would do it. If you're doing a house as opposed to a picnic table, there's different steps, or different deliverables, but the steps are going to be similar. So I don't know, that sounds too much like a disclaimer. I'm just letting you know what our plan is, really. It's going to be cool. It's going to be good. Something's going to come out of this, and then that thing will be what is.
Yep, going to be very, very cool. We're already getting some jokes in the chat.
Yes.
Misty said, it's good to see Aaron's shirt. Love that. We got some folks tuning in from Brazil, from Beirut, from all over the place. A bunch of people from Massachusetts, too. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it's going to be a great, great stream.
Nice. All right, let's do this. Let's roll. All right. Yeah, so let's start by looking at this. This is the table we made last stream. So I tried to keep it very simple. There's actually only two sizes of lumber. There's 2x6s and there's 2x4s. Most of this is all 2x6s. The 2x4s are here as these diagonal braces, and then here underneath the benches. And that's it. That's all there is. Two different sizes of lumber, obviously different lengths, different cuts, but pretty simple. I did go through and do some high level grouping, right? So the tabletop and the seats are the 2x grouped together. These end A-framey shape things are a group, and then this section, the center, is a group. And then, so that's everything we did. I'm just pointing out the grouping because I did that. Just wanted to show you guys. So one of the questions that came up as we were talking about doing this was, can we create a cut list? So not necessarily a drawing that we're gonna do a drawing in layout for sure. We're gonna do imagery, 2D imagery that I can print out and, like I said, build from. But separate from that, people were asking, what about a materials list or a cut list, that sort of thing. So I thought, okay, that's how hard it is for you guys to convince me of doing something. But yeah, we can do that. So I figured we'll spend the first part of this in SketchUp. We'll go through and we will get a cut list for this right here. I'm gonna use generate report. There are extensions out there. There's make cut list and cut list 2 and a couple others. I don't have any of those loaded up. We're just gonna use generate report. This is gonna be simple enough. Like I said, 2 different sizes of material. It's gonna be pretty quick and easy, and not that many cuts. I mean, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 pieces is all. Cut lengths. I mean, we have to do some of them.
Even I could assemble this.
I think you could do it. I have total faith in you. So we'll do that. We'll get a cut list made using generate report, and then we will get some scenes set up that I want to use in layout, and then we'll take it through to layout. We'll put the cut list on the output, and then we'll have a cut sheet and an assembly sheet and all that stuff. So let's go. First thing I'm going to do, it's not save. I'm going to turn off shadows. So you guys know, we've talked about in our videos, a lot of work has been done on making SketchUp just more efficient, faster design, that kind of thing, which is great. One of the only visualization pieces that has not yet been improved, is shadows. So shadows can still be kind of bog down your model. So that's why I turned those off. But hey, more opportunity to get even better. Okay, so let's look at this. So let me pull up, in case you guys have not seen this, I'm going to go to generate report right now. This is the generate report window. I haven't saved any templates or anything, okay, never mind. I'm straight up lying because I guess I did this one. Oh no, that's today. Never mind. That's the one I will be working on right now, but I haven't saved any other ones in here, so we're working from scratch. This is what you would see if you just went in and hit generate report. What generate report does is it runs through your file and it finds entities, components, or groups that it can report upon, and then puts them into a report, a list, based on the attributes or qualities you select. That's a simple explanation. So what it allows you to do is real simple stuff, like if you want to do a quantity report, like a quantity takeoff. How many rubber duckies do I have in this model? You could run that report real quick, and it'll say this many of this component, and there you go. But we can go a lot further with that, because we can say things like, sort my material by width, by height, by length, and consolidate by this or that. So there's some options that we can go through. I'm not a master of this. Every time I go into, I don't use it very often, is my biggest issue, but it usually comes back pretty quick. So we'll do this. It'll be great. It'll be good. Yeah, go for it.
No, I was just
I thought you had a comment.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. I haven't really used generate report either, but I consider this a learning exercise, and this will be good to see.
It's going to be something. I promise you that. It'll be something. All right, so let's do this thing. So the way generate report works is generate report is actually a web tool. So when I hit generate report, it's actually jumping up to the web and running and pulling results back down. So if you're not connected to the internet, you either won't see generate report or you might see something very different from what's here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this new, I'm going to call this new report we're just going to call it like a table cut list, specifically designed for this table right here. And then I'll hit edit. So there's a couple things in here right off the bat. I'll try to get everything on screen. My head's not in the way. Nice. That's professional, right? That's just professional experience that I'm not covering something up with my face. Look at everything's on the screen at once. Sorry, just had to pat myself on the back, I guess. All right. So with this, the first thing we have the ability to do is say, do I run this on the entire model or do I want to run it on the current selection? Personally, I almost always set this to current selection because what I'll do is then intentionally go through, pick the pieces that I want to run the report on, and then say, now just run the report. The reason this is important is a lot of times as I start making these kinds of models, I'll have duplicates of the same geometry over and over. So when I'm done this, so right now what is just a picnic table, this same model is going to have copies of all this material laid out for cutting, different pieces in different phases of assembly. So while I have, 1, 2, 7, 9 of these boards right here, the final model might have like 22 of them. So I want to be very intentional about what material goes into my cut list. So that's why I usually leave it on current selection. All right. The next thing, this is very important. Component nesting levels. So I have an option for all levels, or I have enter the level that I want to report on. So what a level is, remember I was talking about how I grouped all this stuff together? That is each group or component is a level. So my top level would be what I can select from the outside, right? So here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups. So if I was to say only report on level 1, I would get reports on those 6 pieces. That wouldn't do me very much good because I can't cut this piece, right? This is 3 separate pieces. What I actually need to report upon is a level deeper. So this piece plus this piece plus this piece, that's a second level. That's a second level deep. I think that works for all my groups. So this, I'm just going to verify I don't have anything else grouped together. Yeah. So if I run my whole report on level 2, that should give me cut lists for each of the pieces that are in those larger groups. I said should just now.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not a huge fan of the term should because I think things are or are not. I don't like when people tell me should, but sometimes I use the term should because not 100% sure.
We're doing it live.
That's right. So to the left of that, here's the attributes I can pull from a model. And here's where I actually have them. Here's what's going to be reported. So in here, I have definition name. So remember, as we were making these, let's pull this up. If I come into this board right here, we tagged each one with the actual material link. We're going to change all of our tags. I didn't put this together with the intention of running this report. So we're going to change some stuff. But what definition name is whatever it says right here, definition name. So if I come into these ones, it's going to have, here's my different pieces. That's what it's going to report upon. And it's going to report the quantity of each. When it runs the report, it's going to use architectural, which is fractional inches, fractional feet inches, and then I have the ability to set a precision. So I can set my precision up to a 64th of an inch. For something like sawing wood, a 16th of an inch is plenty for me. I'm not doing some amazing Japanese hardwood. So this stuff's all coming off the framing bunk at Home Depot. 16th inch is plenty small for me.
Yeah, we're making a picnic bench here. I mean, come on. If you can have picnic on it, I think that's good enough.
Is the top like this more or less? We're good.
Right.
So I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to say my current selection. I'm going to say go to the second level deep and give me a full quantity of each type definition name. I'm going to do a select of everything, and I'm going to say run report. And here's what we get. So this tells me, okay, this thing called 11-inch 2x4, I need 2 of them. This 2 foot 3.5-inch 2x4, I need 3 of those. And this is all I set it up for, was give me a total quantity of each one of these things. That's awesome. That's simple. That works. The nice thing about having this list, this number right here, is I could actually, on this, when I go into like my cut list or my drawing, I can actually use tags to put that name onto the materials. It's not great because, like I said, unless I want to go beyond this, I'm a little bit limited by the amount of information in here. And also, I kind of fudged some of these numbers because they was about what length they were, not exact. So this is okay. So right now, if I needed to like how much lumber, I could use this lumber right here to generate like a consolidated cut list. How many 8-foot 2x4s do I need? How many 12-foot 2x6s do I need? I could use this list to go figure that out. That could be how I use this. Let's look at going a little bit further and actually getting like the width of the material and then let it report upon the length. Let's see how that works. I'm going to go back and we're going to change some stuff in here. So what we're going to look at these values right here: X length, Y length, Z length. So I'm going to bring all of those over here. All right. I'm going to actually take definition name off. I don't necessarily want that right now. Ooh, material. That might be kind of fun. All right. And then we will... Uh-oh. I don't remember which is X and which is Y. So I'm going to do this wrong. We will definitely want to report the cut length down here. And then... yeah, I'm actually going to get rid of material. I'm going to run it. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Okay, that was wrong.
All right.
That's not too... I mean, this is not bad. This would be usable. So
It's workable.
It's workable. So right here, I have... So my Z lengths, I was consistent. That's the important part. The important part is not what was Z, what was X, what was Y. The important part is when I created, because I started with one piece and then they were all the same. I know with some things like the cut list extension. Okay, so quantity, Z length. I didn't consolidate any of that. I just wanted to run it and see if that's right. So this is how I would be used to seeing it: 1.5 by 3.5 by cut length. Let's see. Let's go back and try that again. Is something happening? Are you kidding me? Really?
Oh no.
This isn't me this time. Look at my dropped frames are 0.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm not responsible this time. This one's not on me.
Oh man, I told you those cables weren't expensive enough.
Aww. Folks, I just don't even know what to do anymore.
So, the towel.
I mean, at this point, so one of the things that I can see, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to bring you behind the scenes so you guys can actually see what's going on back here, right? So this is OBS. This is the software we run our stream through. One of the things it tells me is right here, dropped frames. So how many times has it like hiccuped on my end and something gone wrong?
Okay.
Everything's coming out of here right. So I don't even know what to do anymore. This is the universe against me and not me doing something Wrong this time. It's your fault, universe, not me.
Okay, we might be back though. Might. Should.
Oh, we should be good. All right, that's good to hear. Oh.
All right. Yeah. Looks like we're back 100% now.
Okay, so let's do a quick sync check. Audio, video. That sync up right?
Yeah, look pretty good on my end.
We're probably all a little sensitive too right now, right?
I think it's something about picnic benches, like it's
get
a curse. We should just go back to modeling sharks.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, hey, say what you want about that boring, terrible video card modeling. It was smooth.
Totally.
It was horrible and terrible to watch, but it was great. Okay, let's keep moving here. Ugh. I don't even remember what I was doing anymore. So I forget. I want to consolidate by, yeah. All right. So there we go. The simplest, easiest possible cut list I can make is this. So we're going to consolidate by X length because that's the actual cut length I want to do. And then also display the other sizes here. If we run that, I need 11 inches. I need 2 cut from a 2 by 4. So that's pretty simple. If I wanted to, I could probably scratch the Z length too, because really they're all 2 by material. If I buy 2 stacks, it's the thicker one or the thinner one. So, but yeah,
that's my approach to woodworking too. It's just like, well, whatever the material is, we'll just cut it.
That's right. Ooh, what kind of wood is that?
Don't know.
Yellowy. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not plastic.
I like to call that an X tree.
Yes.
I think I'm trying to think how to most easily get this into a table in layout. I think I can just copy this, and then I'm gonna hop over here and I'm gonna make a quick Scratch document that I can just dump those values in so I can bring them back in.
Alexis has a good question here.
All right.
Do reports work with groups or do they need to be components?
It'll work with groups or components. So in fact, just to show how this train wreck could have gone, if I run this on all instead of 2 levels deep and run it again, yeah, see all this other stuff it shows? These are the outside containers. So you can see rather than where I had just 3.5s and 5.5s before, now I have something that's 57 by 2. So these are those outside containers, those groups. So you can see that, yeah, that's you do need to be intentional about how you sort your material. In fact, if you wanted to, one of the things you could do is I could keep this. I could go like this. I could do this. I could grab this, make that into its own group. So there's my finalish product. I could take that and I could set it off to the side. And this is actually, last time I created a cut list, this is how I did it. And then this one right here, I'll explode once and explode twice. And now everything is on the outside. So everything is just one group deep. And then I could select and run the report on that, which should give me the same exact output as when I was going too deeper. So it really depends on how you want to maintain this. I will admit that for me, when it comes to the point where I'm generating output, I don't always maintain the cleanest, best files in the world. They're not hero models. So this thing right here might go out to, save that as its own component, save that as its own piece over here. And my working model may actually be a little bit of a mess. As long as what gets to layout is what I need and it looks good and works there.
Yeah, it's good to be honest. Sometimes your model's a mess.
I try. Okay, so what I did off camera, again, just trying to be transparent with you folks, with everybody, is I don't actually have like Microsoft Office or anything like that. Everything I do is through Google. So all I did was I just copied that text and pasted it into an empty doc that I can copy and paste back in. I could save that into a file that I then re-import later, but that would mean saving the file, downloading it as a different format, and I'm just trying to keep it simple. So I could do that. That would be an option. It would be to save it out like that. All right. I'm going to go to view, get my axes back on. I turn my axes off when I generate thumbnails, so that's why it was gone. That's why the shadow was on, because that stuff looks good.
Yeah, real good.
Real good.
And those materials too. I think we should take a second to just talk about the materials. My goodness.
Yeah. The only problem is it looks like it's made from reclaimed lumber or was built like 10 years ago. It has been sitting outside, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's seasoned.
That's right.
Pre-seasoned.
Tasty. Yeah. So I want to do two things I want to prepare for. I want to create in my model, I want to have scenes for cutting. So I want one of each material type laid out flat on the ground, so I can just dump that right onto a page and dimension everything. So that's one thing. The second thing is I want a series of scenes that shows the assembly of this thing. So I'm going to do that by, I'm going to make a Tyson-esque model where my components are just going to be strewn across the floor, is how this is going to go. I'm going to maintain my hero over here. That's going to stay there so I can get a nice picture, maybe turn the shadows on and some ambient occlusion and everything, and get this nice looking pretty thing that I can just slap on the front of this. Because I'm going to make a little booklet that shows how this goes together. And then over here is where my mess will be. All right, so first things first, I want to grab one of each piece of this model. So this one of this, one of this, one of this, one of this, and one of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I got them all. I just didn't count right. All right.
Nice.
Math. My... Who knew design would require math so much, man? Ugh. Every teacher I ever had was right. Okay, so again, I've spoken to several different people about how they lay stuff out for their output. A lot of people do this differently, but I am just a big fan of grab my stuff and throw it on the floor. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to grab each one of these, slide on over here, drop it. Oh, hey, back off. Get in my face. All right, there we go. And then I, of course, want everything to be the same orientation. So I am going to get everything laid flat like this. Put it right here. And then I want, just so this looks nice, I want a consistent spacing between each of these pieces on my cut drawing. So I'm going to say, I'm going to come over here a consistent amount of length, a consistent length, let's say like 12. So maybe a foot apart like that. That's good. We'll grab this one. And again, I want to get everything laid flat. So I'm going to turn it like this. And then I'm going to turn it like this, just letting it snap to the axes. And then I'm going to turn it one more time like this. And there we go. All right. Slide over 12. We get this question a lot from people who are newer to SketchUp. When I try to move a thing, I can't snap to the thing I'm trying to snap to. When you're in perspective, you got distances from between the camera where you're clicking. So sometimes it's hard for it to figure, oh, do you want to snap up here or do you want to snap back there? one of my solutions is to flip the whole thing upside down and go underneath to snap things around. So sometimes that works. Sometimes. Nothing's foolproof.
Very, very Stranger Things-esque.
That's right. Cutlass in the upside down, baby.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I'll just I'll throw, just like I'll just draw a rectangle or like a plane like on the ground and just snap everything to that and then delete the plane.
That is great. Let me show you exactly what Justin's talking about because that's a great call.
Yeah, because then it's all on the same plane. It's easy. You can even use the extension to kind of drop everything down onto that plane too. That's nice too.
That is very nice. So if I'm working on a plane like this, then it's real quick and easy to go, okay, just take this and just go straight down and drop it vertically till it hits. And I'm done. So that is very quick. This way. And then I'm going to flip around. Actually, I'll go this way. I'm trying to align my cutting so it's the same direction as well. Oh, I thought these were the same angle. I thought I was going to get away with that. So again, this is stuff that I can make the call on this, but I went from longest cut length to shortest cut length. I could, in theory, all my materials happen to be the longer cut lengths are 2x6 and the smaller ones are 2x4, so it worked out well, but I might have to make a call if I want to keep my same material cuts the same or not. I don't know. That's a thing to think about. All right. Here's a thing I want to look at. So my materials here, if possible, it would be great to have all my angle cuts be, the same. So if I go I'm going to grab a tool I almost never use, which is the protractor, and see that that's 28.6 degrees. I don't remember how we actually came up with that. That just looked nice, I guess. That's 28.6.
It's an aesthetic choice.
That's right. That one was 28.6. Okay, so most of these are the same. I use the same end cut. I don't know. That was 2 weeks ago. I don't know what I did. This one ended up as a different cut because this is that angled piece that comes right here. I could spend time, I suppose, sliding that vertical piece up and down so I got the same cut, but this seems like one cutting different or one angle different is probably not worth going through and adjusting my entire design. As soon as I start moving that stuff around, then my other cuts change and I'm not going to mess with that. So I think we're good. I think this is going to be my cut scene right here. So what I'm going to do to actually prepare my scene, I'm going to go to a direct overhead view. So I'm going to go to camera, standard view, top. So now I'm looking at from the top down. For this particular scene, I don't want perspective. I want just straight on look. So I'm going to go to parallel projection, and I'm just going to use so I'm not using my 3D mouse at all now. A 3D mouse is really hard to keep everything flat in plane. It's real easy to just kind of start moving it around like that. So I'm only using the scroll wheel on my mouse right now. Orbit, which I did not want to do. I just showed you what not to do. All right, let's try that again. Let's go back to camera, top view. All right, and then I'll just roll this up until it pretty well fills the screen. That looks good. I'm going to save that as my first scene. Actually, one moment. Something else I might do at this point is consider my materiality. Like Justin said, that looked great. It was awesome. If I print this out to take out to my shop and work off of, I don't necessarily need all this wood grain and scratches and stuff in my wood. That doesn't really do anything for me when I get to the point where I'm cutting. In fact, if I'm really being like really thinking the process through, it would be great to have this all be black and white so I don't even have to mess with like color tone or anything like that. So I may consider at this point uh, changing to something else. So I may actually come in here. Let's go to view, go to face style, and we could consider the most basic would be this monotone view.
Yeah, good old monochrome. Love it.
I think that
Simple.
looks great. Yeah. So let's save that.
Yeah, you could also do a hidden line, but monochrome is nice.
Yeah, that gives me a gray color instead of straight white, so that might look good. I am going to name my scenes as I create them. We're going to call this cut sheet. All right, there we go. Now, up next, we'll work through this thing. All right, so the next piece might be, how would I assemble this? Here's what I'd probably do. I would probably make my little A-frames next. So I'm going to copy that. Copy those pieces, slide this off to the side like that. And then we'll come back here, paste that, and then we'll take that whole thing. You know, after all these years, I still really, I'm always guessing about red or green.
Me too.
I have to admit that people ask for tricks, and I'm like, the trick to knowing should you be in red or green? Yeah, I'd love to hear that. All right. So there we go. I think that's going to be enough. Let's go to a camera. Camera standard top again. So I'm looking straight down on this thing. I think that looks good. Something I might want to play with here is back edges. So by hitting K, I get these dashed lines. Do back edges go into layout?
Maybe.
Let's find out. All right.
Yeah.
we're gonna find out. Let's do it. Unless somebody in the chat knows, if you know, if you've already or somebody's really fast, somebody could have already drawn this and gone into layout by now. Let us know. You get a gold star if you. I don't know what deserves the gold star, showing it is or showing it isn't, but let us know.
That's right, folks. We're handing out gold stars.
Virtual, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to call this one.
Should work, though.
Step 1.
If not, you can always, like throw it into like wireframe or something.
That's right. Or I can draw these lines. There's a bunch of ways to do that. We'll get dashed lines in there to let us see through the material regardless. All right. Back edges don't show up in vector or hybrid. But does that mean they do show up in raster? All right. All right, so for my next step, what I would probably say is, so build 2 of these, and then my next step would probably be like this. Stand that up, get these pieces on, and then we can turn off back edges now. K is the shortcut for back edges, in case you all were wondering. They do show up in raster. Cool. Because again, with this piece, I'm not really that concerned about showing materials, so that should be good. That should be good for me. All right, let's go to an ISO view. What am I doing? Okay, ISO. Get that 45-degree view like that. That looks cool. I like that. I'm going to use that as my next piece, my next view.
Yeah, I like this. This is like a nice progression of, from one piece to the finished table. It's not like, some of those images you see where it's just like, all right, I'm going to draw a circle. And then the next step is, here's the line.
I know you follow some artists online, and I always it always cracks me up when it's like, yeah, draw two circles overlapping, draw a U shape, Shrek. Like, wait, what? We
Yeah, totally.
we missed something there.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. I'm going to. Oh, I'm working in ISO, and it's making me a little nauseous, honestly.
You
Ooh.
sound like Tyson.
I can't. I just can't. I'm not. I can't do it. All right.
You know what? This is my preferred view, actually. So
Really? Oh,
I know.
your
Crazy.
brain, man. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know how it works, but somehow.
All right. This would be my next view is to put these planks on here. Yeah. I don't know. I could probably argue putting the braces in there before, but I'm not gonna argue that because I don't want to do it. So step 3 is gonna look like that. All right. Step 4. I have 5 steps total. Step 4 is going to be putting these pieces right here. For this, I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm going to flip. Whoop, whoop. Nope. All right, there we go. Flip this whole thing upside down. Go to a top view. Is that confusing? This shouldn't be here. It's not ideal, but I think it'll work.
Yeah, it looks like the top of your bench there is below the surface.
It is underground.
Underground.
Let's move that up to, whoops. Settle down, man. Jeez. There we go. So now let's try go into a top view again. Yes, that's going to work. I knew something was off. All right, there we go. Another step. We'll call this one step 4. And then one last one. This is the one I'm not quite sure how to display. Maybe we do a section cut on this. Yeah, let's do that. Nope, forget the section cut. Let's just erase this. And this and this. I want to see how this looks. That's clear. I like that. All right. Standard view. Front?
Yep.
Oof. All right. I'm going to be as I develop this, as I create this, I'll be turning background off. So it doesn't matter that background's back there. I'll take care of that when we go. All right. So
Although
more.
it's a very fitting background for a nice scenic picnic location.
That is true.
I would enjoy eating a sandwich right there.
I would eat it. I would do that too.
Yeah.
All right. One last one. I want to get a nice ISO image of my finished picnic table. I don't know for anything specific yet, but we'll see. So I'm going to go to camera. I'm going to go to ISO again. And then, yeah, one last. Call that ISO. Boom. Let's save that. All right. Yeah, sure. All right. So if we go to our cut sheet, here's our 6 pieces to be cut. Here's assembly stage 1. Put the A-frames together, 2 of these, and bring them together with the benches. Get the tabletop on top. Flip it over, put our braces in. Put our diagonal braces in. Voila. Okay, cool. So at this point, our model is ready for layout. So I know, like I said at the beginning, a lot of people want to push a button and have my model just spit out a layout drawing. And unfortunately, that's just not how it works. You do have to tell layout exactly what you want. There are some things that can be made easier through templates, because templates could already have scenes set up and they can automatically populate your model and that sort of thing. That works if you have repetitive builds, like you build something similar over and over and over again. With something like this, really for a custom piece that I designed myself to get it set up for output, we're 45 minutes in. If I wasn't talking so much, it was probably less than half an hour to prep this for output. So, and I'll say of everything, that's the grind for me. Taking those pieces and making those steps, that's the time consuming part. When it gets to actually going to layout, I feel it goes pretty quick and pretty easy. Maybe it's just because it's connected to the end step, because when I go and layout, I'm like, boom, that's going to get printed and I'm done. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, but that piece we just did, that was it. We're ready. We're ready for layout.
Good to go.
All right. So let's go to layout. All right. So I started a blank drawing, a blank document, and all this document there's nothing in this. This is just the blank 8.5 by 11 sheet. It's a standard letter sheet. I am intentionally using this size sheet because this is what I could print on my home printer. So I can print these. So I'm going to let this size dictate how many pages this document ends up being, that sort of thing. Yeah, and we're just going to go from there. So let's hop in here and let's start with our cut sheet. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, all right, let's insert picnic table. The last view I had on my screen is what layout brings up by default, which happened to be the cover art. Cover art? You know what I'm talking about. So that's what it brought up. I think I can make that work. I think I like that. I'm going to go ahead and pick on that. And I'm going to change that to a vector drawing. Just a cleaner drawing. It looks nicer. Like I said, I'm probably going to get rid of the background. I'll just put this all on white. So let's do that. Under style here, I can just turn background off. And there it is, just my picnic table. And I might do something like, let's slide that up a little bit and let's put some text in here. We'll call this the SketchUp Live Picnic Table Instructions.
Yeah, the end goal.
That's right. Yeah, let's get that font a little bit bigger.
Oh, Bill asks, I don't have layout yet, but can you select metric paper size like A4 or A3, etc.?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. I don't because I don't know how big an A4 is. But yeah, there's default. And if you have some odd shape, you can actually create your own templates for whatever sizes you want. So if you have a weird printer that prints, I was going to throw some fun millimeter sizes out, but I don't remember what those are. I'll probably call it a postage stamp page. But yeah, you can. You can absolutely use the defaults, which has the most commonly used metric and imperial page sizes. And then you can also create custom sizes as well. Yeah, let's bring fonts up and let's go. Oh, too big. I'm yelling there.
Whoa.
Yeah, take it easy, pal. Back off. All right.
Don't put it in bold. Come on.
Why do you hate whoever's reading this? All right. We're going to keep it simple. This is what it is. Layout's fun because layout lets you, so I like Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator a lot. I love vector line work. That's a fun thing to do. And that's kind of where layout sits. The other nice thing is like layout, I can import any file, images, drawings, text, tables. So layout gives me a lot of ability to really customize stuff. But I want to be intentional and make sure we finish this in the next hour. So we're going to go with a simple front page. We'll go from here. Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to add any GIFs into this. We're going to keep it.
All right. So that looks good. That page looks good. I'm going to hit, all right, let's start the next page. So I'm going to add a couple layers real quick. So I'm going to add one for models, and that's the layer I'm going to actually bring my models on. And then I'm going to do another layer for text. And I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to put text callouts, dimensions, everything, all that stuff will go onto one layer together. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to keep it simple. I am going to come in and do a couple things to make this kind of a template kind of thing. So I'm going to come up here. Again, I want to keep this simple. I don't want to really get into real heavy stuff, but I'm going to put a title up here. So I'm going to say cutting sheet. Same thing. I'm doing this on the first page because what I'll do is I will duplicate this page for future pages. So I only have to set this up once. My fonts, let's go ahead and bump that up a little bit. Not obnoxious, but I know what this page is. And then I'm going to do two things on here. I'm going to bring in my image, which will put all the pieces onto. And then I'm also going to create a new table and put my cut sheet on there. So I'm going to go to models, and I could go to file import. I tend to like to do this. This is my general way of working. If it's the same model, it's not a different model, I'll just copy this model and then hop over to the same page, paste it, and then change it from here. So I'm going to make it smaller, make it fit right here. And then I'm also probably make it bigger because I want to get that full cut length of that long piece. And then we'll go to cut sheet group. There we go. All right. That's the first piece I wanted to bring in. Now, as we start here, one of the big things that comes up is scale, right? If I believe that there's going to be a situation where I or somebody who is assembling this is going to take a scaled ruler and actually measure something off this screen, then I probably want to put this at some sort of a scale. If I am taking this out to my garage and I have a question about something that I think I might have to scale, I will probably, instead of doing that, I would probably just come in and check the model in SketchUp. So I would not immediately be real concerned about running over here and picking a specific scale. So that's just my thoughts. I probably wouldn't do that. But if we did want to make sure it stayed at a consistent scale, maybe I'll pick 1 to 12. And then I can actually have a consistency. I don't know. That's your call on that. Obviously, if I was making this, if this was a construction set of plans, I would want to pick an appropriate scale and make sure all my drawings were to that same scale. If this is going to be to scale, then I might come in here and create a text sheet and put in scale. Was that not the right auto text? That off the cuff teaching didn't work. I thought it was just scale. Maybe it's not scale. Okay, let's try. Never mind. We're not going to do that. That'd be stupid. That'd be a dumb thing to do. I'm not pretend I didn't say that. All right. So, the other thing I want to import.
Oh, looks like we're back. Wait. We're getting live updates. Welcome back.
I'm not even okay. Now I'm dropping frames all of a sudden, but that was weird. I don't know what's going on, guys.
I think we might be back on YouTube. You need a full-time IT guy just on standby.
I guess so. I need somebody in my house just under the desk, waiting.
Yeah. You need a satellite pointed just at your house.
I suppose. Oh, thanks for hanging with us, guys. I honestly don't know what's going on because I don't know. I don't know. Not sure what's happening. The universe has a problem. A chip on its shoulder about layout. That's the problem.
Yeah, about picnic benches specifically.
This world's just not ready for the layout magic I'm about to spin. Huh. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's a little bit frustrating because we spent hours of time streaming with no issues whatsoever. There's just something about go time. What is go
I
time?
think I think we might be good now. Yeah, Colin says it's raining in Colorado, so that might be it.
That would be nice. uh okay, folks. Well, we will keep trying. Uh yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, looks good.
Cool. Go fast. All right. Uh all right. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, hey, that's a good idea. I'm gonna bring up something totally unrelated, and you guys can talk about this, especially if I freeze again. Just carry on in the chat. We got a stream just before the 4th. I believe it's the 3rd, but we've always historically done a Star Wars model on May 4th because it's Star Wars Day, May the 4th. You guys get that joke already? Yeah, check it out and see if I'm reading and trying to talk at the same time. It's not working out. That's not what I wanted to say. Let us know your ideas for a cool Star Wars model. What would be a fun thing? In the past, we've done some spaceships. We've done lightsabers. We did the landing bay inside of the Death Star. That was a fun one with a bunch of stormtroopers. But yeah, let us know what do you think would be a good May the 4th model. Something that we haven't done before because we've done quite a bit. We did like the Razor Crest. We did. Did we do a speeder? It's like Luke's speeder or something like that. I think we did. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, type your
What
ideas.
about
What should we do?
RTD2?
R2D2. That would be a fun one. That would be cool. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Let's try this again. I'm gonna put a table like this, and then I'm going to paste all of this into one cell and see if this works. There we go. So there's our cut list that we created in SketchUp. I'm going to turn off the edge on this thing. I don't like that stroke around the outside. I just want to see the cut list floating there. Awesome. Yeah, the next thing that I would say we should put on here is we're going to throw some dimensions on. I don't know that actually, well, you know what? I might, just for my own reference, I would probably put a title on each board as well, but then we'll also dimension stuff. So here's how I go about dimensioning. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to come in here and put a dimension from here to here. Here's, like I said, this is what I do with dimensioning. I put my first dimension on and I take a look at it and I decide if this is what I want or not. I don't like this dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up and make it what I want it to be on this first dimension and then make that my default dimension throughout the rest. So what do I not like about this? I don't like arrows at the ends. I've never liked that. I like hatches. It's just how I am. It's
just the architectural way.
It's how I came up. Yeah, Justin gets it. So I'm going to put hatches on there. All right. I like that much better. I think I want to make my font a little bit bigger. Not huge or anything. I don't want to like blowing out the screen, but it looks kind of small next to the rest of my text. This is not a dense set of plans. So I'm going to go up here and show my font window again. And yeah, we'll just step up like a 12. Perfect. I'm just going to put my fonts over here on the other screen so it's not in the way, but it doesn't go away forever. All right, I like that. The only other thing I may end up changing is I'm going to have, yeah, so I'm just going to go with that for right now. And then we'll go grab a new dimension. And as soon as I hit the new dimension, look what happens. It resets back to that other thing. So I'll just go ahead and swap that out real quick. And then I'll put another dimension here. And this is what I like for angle cuts, is I like both edges dimensioned. And we'll come back and we're gonna dimension out these angles in just a second as well. Something I don't like is that this is at 32nd. I want to set my precision to 16th. There we go. All right. And I'm going to keep on dimensioning my overall lengths, my long side lengths, short side lengths. Oops, that one. I didn't change that again. So one of the things I do feel like I want to call out is the fact that some of the stuff I'm saying I do is because I don't do this time and time again, over and over. I tend to, some of the stuff I do could probably be done once and saved in a template, but because I don't do it often enough, I don't think to do it. So things like having consistent dimensions on your plans, probably something that's worth doing once, getting it right, saving it, and only doing it once. All right, now, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'll change that to 16th. I could come in here, grab all of this, and then make sure everything is set to the same. This I don't like because it's floating off here. It's dangling, which works if I had a messier situation, but I don't. It's simple enough to put that there. All right. So that looks okay to me. I could work off of that. Here's the thing now. We have some angles. I know that we actually have 3 angles. We have this one, which is the most common one, which is here, 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 and here. And then this guy right here, the diagonal brace, has 2 totally different cuts. So there's a couple things I could do here. And really, this really depends on who's getting this plan. If I'm taking it out, I might call out the angle right here once as typical and be done. And then, specifically write up what these angles are. I could do that. If I was sending this to somebody, then I may actually call out each angle separately. I might do that. Or I could actually come up with like a symbol system that shows what the end cuts are, which is kind of where my brain goes. So maybe I'll do something like this. Or actually, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going with this thought that I got going right now. So I'm gonna put a little square right here. I'm gonna put an A in this square. Then put a little stroke around that A. And I'm going to put that A right in the piece. Let's fill it too. Let's fill it with white so it stands out. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. All right.
Yeah, look at that.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to come across, put this here. Whoops, I didn't hit Option. It's not on that one. It's on this one.
What do you think about labeling the widths?
Yeah, I guess that would be the other question is, do I need to worry about labeling width separate? Because what I could do is I could do something, and again, at this point, we're kind of designing solution as opposed to, any kind of standard or anything, which is cool. But I could here. Let me. I can't talk and think at the same time, as you all know. Whoop! See, look at that. Man, I tell you, it's not easy being me. All right, and then I'll come into this one. This will be cut B, and then we'll call this one cut C. Cool. What I could do, this would, because I have two different material sizes, I could go about this a couple different ways. I could do something. Huh. Because I could come through, I could do a bunch of extra dimensions, right? I could come in here and go like this on each one. That's going to get
Yeah.
crowded real quick. I don't like that at all. Undo, undo. Shame on you for even
Yeah, we know how you
suggesting
feel
it.
about those floating dimensions.
But I could also do this. I could come up with a new way to use dimensions. Watch this. So I know my dimensions have hatch marks, so maybe I'll use this dimension a little bit differently. I'm going to get rid of my marks altogether. And I could take this and say this text is 2 by 6 or at by 6. So I can kind of use it like that. I don't know. I'm making stuff up right now, guys. I don't have a solution for this, so we're winging it. I can do the same thing here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get that as small as it could go. Get that as small as it could go. Oops, I forgot to select it. Do it again. So that might be enough for me to make sure I convey the material size. And call this 2 by 4. What? 2 by 4. We'll line that. So that might work. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, looks good.
I'm gonna move my material list over here because the one other thing I would do at this point, I have 3 cuts here that I'd want to detail out. Yes, I agree. So Jupe is pointing out we don't actually need measurements if we have all the angle cuts. I totally agree with that. But I also know people like to verify things. So yeah, I could get away with just having the overall length, the long side length, and then that length, which means I could get rid of half these dimensions, but some people might want to measure that. So I'll respect that. All right, I'm going to option copy my model window over here. This is going to get a little crazy, guys. I'll be honest. All right, I'm going to get rid of preserve scale on this, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to zoom in on the end of this guy right here. Oh, not that big. Let's be reasonable. All right, and that size. Now I'm going to preserve the scale and shrink this window down. So I have just that cut. And now I'm going to take that cut right there, and we are going to put an angular dimension. My first line is going to be at 90. My next line is going to be down here. Whoop, nope, I did it wrong. And there we go, 29 degrees. And then we can call that, I can come here and borrow this, borrow it. Come here, I need to borrow you. There is my A cut. I'm going to go ahead and make that A bigger. Works for me. And then I might take that whole thing and put it in a box. Something like that, maybe? Put all that together into a group. Again, I'm making stuff up here, but this is, I believe I did something similar to this for some Playhouse designs that I did with Donovan. It seemed to work pretty good.
Yeah, this is looking great.
All right. So for this next one, I'm going to delete, I'm going to come in here, delete my angle. I'm going to, there we go. I got to go find my B end. That's the other end of this guy. At the bottom there. And we could actually take this and just so all the cuts are going the same direction, we'll flip it. I flipped the group. That's not what I wanted. This is what I want to flip. Beauty. B. And then another angular dimension. Straight across here. Measure down to here. And there's our 24 degrees. And one more time. Let's come into this one. Delete our angle. Change our letter to C. Come into this drawing, and we got to go a couple pieces over. Uh-oh, I'm lost. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's
There
good
it
that
is.
you put all the pieces so close together. Otherwise, you'd be swimming in that view forever.
Too true. All right, so we'll get that over here like this, and this is going to have two cuts. So this gets a little less straightforward because I can do a couple things. So I'll get my first cut here. We'll bring that out so I can easily read that. I can do the same thing over here. But then I still need a dimension. I need to know where I cut to. So I would still have to put another dimension here. Go back to my linear dimensions and say from here to here is this much. But that should be enough to build that. Oops. All right. Makes sense? Does that make sense? Does everybody believe that that would work? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I could put that together if needed.
Works for me. So that, last thing I might put on here, some kind of a naming convention. Because I have 6 pieces, I could probably just give these names rather than calling them piece 1, 2, 3, or whatever it is. But I'm just going to throw something on here real quick. I'm going to call this, what do you call a long flat thing on the top of a table or bench?
Plank.
Plank? All right. I like it. It's a plank. It is a plank. All right, and I'm going to take that. I'm going to drop that back down to smaller text. We don't need that big text.
And the next one can be a slightly smaller plank.
I think I might have found a flaw in your naming system. We'll see though. We'll see. I don't want to. Maybe
even smaller plank, smallest plank. It works.
I didn't know that my on-screen text shows arrow key pushes too. That's kind of fun. All right, so I'm gonna grab this. there. Oh, hey, I said option. Oh no, I didn't. I had shift down.
Yeah, Randy says Alpha piece, Bravo piece, Charlie piece, etc., etc. Got a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
know,
great
I know.
name ideas here in the chat.
I mean, so yeah, if I was doing this for some kind of production, we'd come up with something else. But this is a leg, right? No, that was the
That's the brace.
that's the A cross piece. Um, this would be this is the leg. I'll name the things I know for sure what they are. There's the leg. That's a leg if I ever seen a leg. This is the cross brace. This is the
It's the A-frame
table
brace.
frame. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or table brace. Uh, and then this is the thing that goes across underneath the seat support. How about that?
Yeah. We're not copywriters here.
No. And then little boy down here.
Seat support number 2.
There's no way I'm fitting that between those A's.
It's implied what it is.
You'll figure it out. Yeah. Okay. So we could come back to that if we need to. Okay. So we are at this point. We have. Oh no. Ugh. You know what I did? I put all that text on the wrong layer. That's okay. I can fix this. I'm going to grab everything, deselect this, deselect this. And then we'll take all of that and move it to the text layer. Oopsie doodle. All right, no big deal. We're good. Okay, good enough. It'll work. All right. Next page. So we have our cover page. We have this page. We're gonna go make one or two or three assembly pages. And I'm thinking what I'll probably do is copy this, even though most of this page is going to get thrown away. This is the closest to what I want an assembly page to look like. So I'm just going to duplicate this page too. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to get rid of a lot of things. I'm probably going to hold on to this because I'll use that to label the other pieces. But then everything else pretty much will go away. And this, so this will be assembly page 1. Assembly. I'm gonna take this, we'll jump this to step 1. All right, and there we go. This, because I copied it over from the other page, it's saving the scale too. So this is showing up as a 1:12 scale. So this piece is actually the exact same piece as what I saw over there. I'm going to note we're in vector and we're not getting our dashed lines that we had before. So that's interesting.
Oh, yeah, those back edges.
Which means somebody lied to us.
What if you throw it in wireframe?
Let's see. Let's see what happens. If I didn't save it as a style in SketchUp, I don't think I can switch to it in layout. But not a big deal. That's okay, because look, this happens all the time. I need more detail than this is what layout's for. We can do this. This is not a problem. Everything's cool. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to draw a couple edges. So I'm going to go to my line tool. I'm going to draw a line from here. Just going to carry this through till it hits here. Oops. You know what I did? Sorry, I have a shortcut on my mouse button to go to select or draw, and I keep tapping it, but it's not assigned in layout to anything, so it keeps doing the show all the windows shortcut. All right, I'm gonna undo that. I need to go to my text layer, which is above my model layer and draw that edge again. There we go. Now it's on top. And I will take that edge and we will go change it to a nice dashed line. There we go. That's what we need. That's all we need. Check that out.
Nice. Crisis averted.
Yeah. Everybody's panicking. We're cool. We're cool. Don't even worry. We're cool. All right. So there we go. The nice thing about that too is I'm not beholden to what the back edges look like, because I could come in here and I could say, oh, I don't like those dashes. Let's go, with a larger dash and see how that looks versus this and that sort of thing. So it gives me a lot more control to do that too. All right. So there we go. I am going to grab my this and plunk that plank label down right here. And then I'm going to, come here. I keep hitting shift instead of option. I don't know what that's about. All right, and then we'll put
Hey, I mean, the key is like, 3 times the size.
That's true. It is a lot easier to hit. Slide that over here. And I want to admit that I am definitely going with the any idiot could put this together instruction process right now. Because I don't want any idiots to be left out. They should really be able to do their thing. So this one's going to be called the seat support. What was that top piece? Table brace. Ooh, I don't know if I have room for that big of a word. We have to shrink that down. I'll call this one leg. And this one's another leg. Yeah, we will come in here and drop this text down significantly so it covers up less. So I'm going to cover up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then of course we'd want to put some dimensions. So if we knew this was placed against something flat, I wouldn't have to angle anything and it would line here right. So what dimensions do I actually need? I need a dimension of this piece off of flat. So I need a dimension that goes from here to here.
Maybe how far apart the legs are.
Yeah. So if I go, this is extra. I mean, I shouldn't actually need this much, but it's okay. So if I laid, in theory, if I laid my 2 legs down, I put a board across here to keep the bottoms flat, and there was this far between, I could drop this on. These corners should all meet up perfectly. So this table, I don't need to show where this is. The only thing I really need to show is where is this, and then maybe like this dimension here, so I know how far over it is. That should be enough to assemble that. Cool. The only other thing, and again, this comes into foolproof or dang foolproof, is screw callouts. Because what I could do is I come in here. I've done this before. I'm gonna draw a little circle. Go back to solid with that. We don't need a dashed circle. That was kind of hypnotizing actually, as I was drawing that circle and it had dashes, because look how it adds dashes and spools through them as it goes.
Oh man, yeah. I'm getting dizzy here.
Whoa. All right.
Don't look at it for too long. Come on.
I'm going to make a short of just that, and we'll just it'll be on repeat in YouTube. You can just watch that circle just go. All right. I'm going to fill that with actually probably like a red color, something like that, because it'll stick out. And just call out screws. Oops. I have no idea how many screws actually have to go in here, but I'm going to put 4 right there. And then those 4 I'm going to copy. Put them up here. Awesome. And then probably what makes the most sense is some kind of a note that sorry, apparently again I can't draw and uh
Yeah, I was going to ask if you can flip things over themselves in layout, but the reverse scale was a good approach.
yeah, there's probably a different way to do that, but old dog, same tricks, you know. I'm just gonna put a note down here, something that says something like use 2 3/4 wood screws. Oh boy, screws. Actually, here, we'll do this like this. We'll grab one of these red circles. That should be good enough. I like to try to take stuff like this and keep it in groups too. So if I group that, that's just easier for me to like, where do I want to put this? All right. So there's page 1. Pretty simple. All the pieces are there. Simple enough. It goes together. Oh, we do need another note here though, because we do need to say
Repeat twice.
yeah, build twice. Yes.
Yes. This is honestly looking more, instructional than IKEA instructions. This is looking good.
Well, I can use words. That's a
Yeah.
this set of directions. I apologize for our international viewers. Will not be localized for anything other than English because this is the only language I speak fluently. All right, let's keep moving. Let's duplicate this again. So on page 4, we're not going to be building twice. I am going to, again, delete. We'll keep that on there. We'll keep one of these off to the side to use to call out our new pieces. These will all go away. Actually, a whole bunch of stuff's going to go in. Get rid of all this. Get rid of all this. Not going to have any back edges. I will grab these, and we'll just scoot them over here too. All right, there we go. And I can grab this piece, and we can go to step 2. At this point, it kind of becomes a situation of rinse and repeat. So we're just going to do that kind of the same process through each step that we show new on each page. There we go. So in this case, I just want to put on this piece that this is our plank piece. Just plunk down a couple of planks.
These planks were made for sitting.
That's almost right. There we go. Plank, 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 plank. Ah! Yeah, I just don't know. I don't even know.
It's the shift key, It's too big.
I don't know. Yep. All right. And then for these, we'll probably do something like 2 like that. Option. There we go. Option. Cool. Um,
Don't forget
uh,
to change the title, page 2.
oh, yeah. I would have sent that out. I would have sent that right out the door.
I know.
Um, One of the other things, so there's not a whole lot to dimension on here. One thing I may put a dimension on is just this little gap right here. That's ugly. We can clean that up a little bit though. That's ridiculous. That's so small. All right, get rid of that leader line. You know, with something like this too, I'd probably like maybe like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell what it even is, man.
You could draw some dashed lines coming off the actual bench and, just draw
That's
an
true.
arrow with a dimension.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's just do this. Watch this. Let's just right here.
There we go.
We'll just say 3/8 inch gap between planks T, Y, P. Means typical. All right, there we go. All right, and that's that step. Oh, no, it's not. Because we will have another dimension because we need to know how far apart to have these two A-frames. So we'll
Right.
have one more dimension from here to here. That is it.
It's looking good.
I guess I could dimension how far they overhang. I'm just trying to think of any other information that might be helpful. So I might be able to see. I don't know if I can actually snap to that point though. I also don't remember what the actual value is that we put in there. I don't want to misinform anybody. All right, looks good. I guess a note that says even overhang on both sides, but we'll just call that good. All right, I'm going to duplicate that again. This time, I'm going to just grab, before I do anything else, I'm going to jump straight to step 3. Oh, so close. It was so close. Because I'm kind of wondering if I can actually get this to line up with where that other piece was.
Yeah, I do like that your arrows are being displayed. It kind of feels like a Dance Dance Revolution type thing. My feet are moving.
All right, so put that there. All right, we got 5 planks. If these are properly spaced apart enough. I'm gonna go with a boom on that one. Boom.
Boom.
And then a little more boom. Get rid of these. Not because they're not there, but because they're not in this step. Yeah, and then
Page
actually,
3.
same note here. What did I say?
Yeah, don't forget to add page 3 to the title.
Oh man, good thing you're here.
You know what we do.
It takes a village to raise a plan. Do we have any good ideas come through for Star Wars Day?
Yeah, let me go up in the chat here. It's been a while, actually. One sec. I'll try back in.
All right. I'm gonna duplicate this. We're almost there. We're getting to the bottom of the scenes we have created. Take this one, and this is going to be very different when we jump to 4 because we've got that upside down view. Slide that over. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'll keep one of these and then throw out the rest. I don't remember. There we go. Get that vertical.
All right, yeah, let's see. Not a ton of ideas. Jupe did say, quick one, dot, 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 Death Star. So maybe, we can just model the entire Death Star in 2 hours.
Sure, that is definitely an idea. We could actually, I think we've done on some Ask Me to Model Anything. I believe we did Death Star modeling, and it was kind of did it as a joke, and it went very fast because it's basically a circle with another circle subtracted from it. That's it.
Yeah, it's efficient. It's a good design. Millennium Falcon. Yeah, we could do some scale figures for, Chewbacca and company.
I like it. I like all these ideas so far. I will say, I'm going to throw this out to the chat because I don't know who's been around for the longest, but does anybody remember the very first thing that we modeled in a live stream? It was back on Facebook. That was before we were multi-streaming. We were one platform only, and that was Facebook. But does anybody remember what that first model was? I'm just curious if anybody got that.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. How long ago was that now?
Oh, Matt might have to double check me, but I think that was like 6 years ago.
Wow.
Oof, yeah, it was a while. It was a while ago. I just wonder if anybody here has been around that long. If you haven't, don't worry, you weren't missing much. That was old school. That was, you know how it is.
Yeah, you have a green screen now.
That's right. We're big deal now. Because that's what separates the amateurs from the pros is spending $100 on Amazon.
True, yeah, totally. I mean, hey, I don't have a green screen. That's why I'm not on camera.
Hey.
CJ Ryan says, sure, the Falcon.
That's right. That was it.
Nice. Gold star to CJ.
That's right. Were you there, CJ, or did you go back and look at some point? So I'm going to do this for these bottom ones. I'm going to actually change the color on them to green and change the note to note that these are to be filled or put in from above. Cool. Oops, my dot. Yeah, different color should be enough. All right. I could probably call out that it's centered, but a dimension doesn't hurt. Oh, and without Justin telling me, quick. 4.
Oh, man, you got me.
You're still a valuable member of this team, Justin.
Appreciate that.
All right. Oh, we need to put a couple more screw call outs. Ah, I'm so programmed. I do stuff because my brain tells me to do things and it's not always the right thing to do. All right.
Oh yeah, we do have a reminder in the chat here to save the file.
Done. Did it.
Nice.
All right. Um cool. I'm going to duplicate that one last time. Oh, I hit new. I did not mean to do that. I meant to select this and hit duplicate. And on this last page, hold on to one of these. Get rid of this. Get rid of all this. Grab this. I'll just do it first so I don't forget. I'm on a streak now, 2 pages in a row. Jump to step 5.
Yeah, Earl says those screws need to be spec'd so they don't poke through the top, which is true. I mean, that would be a bummer, if your picnic lunch got stuck on the table.
Yes, that's why I specifically said use 2 3/4 because those should not stick through 3 inches of material. If you push hard enough, you can get it to come through, but shouldn't.
Just keep drawing.
Lean into it. You can do it. You can do it. All right, there we go. And one last circle here. We're going to change color again. We're going to put this to be a blue circle. And blue is toenailed. So shoot these in from an angle. I guess these ones could come in from the end. I don't know. I guess I don't have to get too specific here. But yeah, so I'm gonna grab. Oh, oh, oh. Put those up there. I think what I'm learning is you have to grab something, you hold down the Option key, and then when you go to grab the next one, you have to release and push the Option key down again to make a second copy. That's the thing I'm learning. I'm just holding it down, and it's only working for the one. All right, that's the final page. So
Nice.
here we got. Well, let me tell you a story. It's story time. So here we have our nice cover picture. Very simple, very to the point. Nothing fancy. All of this can be printed out on with limited colors. Here we have our cut sheet. So each of the pieces. I do feel like I need to put a title in here for this one. The seat brace. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put it up here because I do call it by name later in the document. I don't love that. That's better. It's not my favorite, but we got here overall lengths of both sides of angled pieces. We have a total cut or total list of material lengths. We have angle cuts for all 3 cuts, including this double cut where we have a dimension. Sweet. Next page, layout flat, leg, support, screw, build 2 of them. Go to the next one. We throw some planks on, 4'9" apart. Throw more planks on top, maintaining a consistent space between planks. We flip it over, we throw a couple of braces on here and screw them together from the top. Throw our cross braces in. We got a table.
Nice.
I feel pretty good about that. I think that turned out kind of cool.
All we're missing is like a final page with some instructions for how to make a really good pasta salad or something.
The bonus. Yeah, and then one sheet on the back, which is some food options. Yeah.
Yeah, a sign-up sheet really for the things you're going to bring to the picnic.
I like it. I like it a lot. Cool. Yeah. What do you guys think? How's that? Are we still talking Star Wars? Should I just not interrupt that?
Some people are talking Star Wars. Earl says, "Well done, Aaron." So,
hey, thanks, Earl.
Starting to get some love in the chat here.
Should probably save that again. Who?
With 12 minutes to spare.
I like it. Yes, we can all fit around it as long as there's only just me and then 3 or 4 other people on the chat. I don't know how it's going to work.
Well, there's 63 people chiming in right now, so I think it's going to be a little bit of a squeeze.
We're not going to be able to build this to scale. We're going to build it a little larger.
Yeah, we're really going to need to add some additional screws in there for, stability.
Yeah, that's going to be something. Cool. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you guys what I will try to do. I'm trying to think how to share this file. I think I could just put both the PDF and layout file up on the forum. A lot of times we try to post our files up to 3D Warehouse and link them. That only works for SketchUp files. So I'll just grab these files and I'll just drop them right on the forum. So if you head over to forums.sketchup.com, go to if you're not already in the happenings group, it's in the happenings section of the forum. Be a link to this stream that just happened, and I'll put these files up there. So they'll be sitting there waiting. But yeah, other than that, I think we're done. We did it. This is it. Yeah. Come back next week and we will be modeling something related to Star Wars. I don't know. We'll be doing our May the 4th model and it'll be a thing, but it'll be there. It'll be a thing. It'll be a Star Wars thing will happen. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll figure it out. We'll look at the chat on here and see if there's good ideas, and we'll come up with something. So maybe we'll throw a poll in the forum too. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But hey, I want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. I apologize again. I don't know what else to fine tune over here. I don't know how to get a better solid connection. But we'll keep working on it. We're going to keep trying to make it better and better. And I want to give a special thanks to Justin. Got his first stream under his belt. Thank you for showing up, Justin.
Yes, thank you very much. As a longtime admirer of your improvisational modeling skills, this is it's a treat to watch.
Hey, glad you were here for it. But yeah, and thank you guys all for showing up. Thank you for being here. Come back next week, next Friday. Like I said, bring your lightsabers and your whatever you got and bring it in, and we'll be modeling some fun stuff. It'll be a good time. But until then, you guys enjoy the weekend, enjoy next week, and yeah, see you on the 3rd.
See you, everybody.